Instagram is dead. It's over. And this spells the end of life as we know it and of our potential success on the platform. So we might as well give up now. So the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, came out with the news a couple of weeks ago that Instagram is no longer just a photo sharing app. And everybody lost their mind. This is nothing new. It's just the fact that Instagram has come out and articulated something that has been very obvious, has not been hidden away, has been no secret for the last 5 years, that video is becoming more important. It is the dominant way that most people like to consume content. So let me explain what I mean when I say this isn't anything new. In summer of 2016, we had the launch of Instagram Stories. Later that year, we had the launch of Instagram Live. Then in 2018, we had IGTV that graced our platforms and was the new latest thing to be added to Instagram. And at the end of 2020, the rollout of Instagram Reels began. Can you see how this is nothing new? Video has been something that Instagram has been enabling and showcasing for the last 5 years. And it's nothing to be afraid of. It is something to embrace and to be excited about. And in this week's video, I'm going to share some tips to help you approach this new way, this new focus for Instagram with excitement. And I'm going to give you some really tangible advice so that you can start incorporating video in a way that feels good to you, that doesn't feel too overwhelming. And I'm going to also share some advice about things to avoid, things to watch out for as well, because there's been a lot of scaremongering and a lot of hype and a lot of negativity around this news flash, which, if you didn't already know by now, I do not regard as news in any way. So I wanted to share some of that with you as well in this week's video. And let me also just say that this does not mean photos and graphics and the written word captions are redundant. Not at all, not at all. It just means that video is also becoming an increasingly important part of the platform. That's it, that's it. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button. And without further ado, let's get into the advice about what to do, how to approach this latest news from Adam Mosseri if you are a business owner or a content creator that wants to thrive on Instagram in 2021 and grow organically and do really well, regardless of any algorithm changes or updates that come to the platform. So my first piece of advice might surprise you somewhat, and that is don't get sucked into the Instagram tips industry that thrives on Instagram. What, Bella? What are you talking about? Well, over the last year or so, especially with the advent of Reels, there has been a huge rise that I have watched from the sidelines, especially as an Instagram strategist. It's an interesting thing to see. There has been a huge rise of individuals, many of whom came out of the woodwork during lockdown. They'd never really shared anything to Instagram before, and all of a sudden there's been this huge rise of Instagram strategists who will share content because it gets picked up in the Instagram algorithm. Now, a lot of this content is short-term, fluffy BS. It is not what you should be focusing on Instagram to have long-term success and sustainable long-term engagement. So I just want to first implore you to be very mindful about who you listen to when it comes to learning about Instagram strategy and long-term growth and engagement on the platform. Be really strict with who it is you take advice from. Just listen to a handful of people, me included. Another Instagram strategist I always recommend is Natasha from Shine with Natasha. Just listen to a few select people so that you don't get overwhelmed with all of the information and all of the tactics that are not that relevant and not that helpful in the long term. My second tip is start incorporating some video into your strategy. Notice how I said some. Yes, Instagram is pivoting to incorporate more video, as it has been for the last 5 years, but that doesn't mean you now need to scrap your entire content strategy and only make video content. Not at all. It's about incorporating video in selectively and in a way that you can be consistent with it. So if you are already familiar with some of the video platforms on Instagram, like Reels or IGTV or Live, start incorporating that more consistently into your strategy. Share a reel a week or go live twice a week. If you've never experimented with any of those platforms before, start practicing so that you can figure out which one feels good for you and which you enjoy showing up on. Because if you enjoy showing up on live or on Reels or on IGTV, you're going to be more likely to share more of that content more consistently. Tip number 3 is don't consider video as a separate strategy. It is part of your existing content strategy. It's just a different format. It's a different way of presenting an idea. So my advice is to sit down and plan your next 2 or 4 weeks worth of content. And by the way, if you want to know how you can plan 2 weeks worth of content at a time, fast and effectively again and again, definitely check out my latest SKILLSHARE class. I will link to it in the description box below, and that link will give you 2 months of premium subscription, which will give you access to the class. It's just 25 minutes and you can take everything you've learned from that class and apply it again and again and again. So when you next sit down to plan your 2 weeks worth of content, look at those ideas and decide which ones would be best presented as a video. For example, you might have an idea that you can see there that is a mini training. Maybe it's 3 tips to achieve something. Look at that idea and maybe decide, actually, I was going to just share a photo of our product and then I was going to expand on the tips in the caption, but maybe I'll make a reel, or maybe I'll go live and do a demo with the product, talking through the tips in that live. Video is such an engaging format that it can always, 9 times out of 10, make an idea even more visually engaging and more intimate, and build those relationships with your followers a little bit better than a static photo and the written word. Not always, but oftentimes. Tip number 4 is if you've never shared video on Instagram before, or you've dabbled in it but you haven't shared that much, just know and accept that being a bit uncomfortable and going through that learning process is completely normal, and everybody goes through it. Everybody. To give you an example, when I first started sharing Instagram Reels, I felt really uncomfortable. I didn't enjoy it at all. And it took me about 30 reels to get my groove, to find my rhythm, and to really feel comfortable with how I made reels, the length, the style, all of that stuff. It did take me quite a number of reels. But the fact is, as the saying goes, the time is going to pass anyway. And yes, you will be a beginner for a little bit. And yes, your content won't be as great in the beginning, but you will improve. But the only way to improve and the only way to become really amazing at video content is just to practice and just to work through that slightly uncomfortable feeling in the beginning. Video is such a powerful way to connect intimately with your followers. And there are so many benefits that you will reap from using this format a little bit more on Instagram and incorporating video a bit more into your strategy. If you view the Instagram news in this way, it will make approaching video content more exciting rather than feeling a sense of dread. And rather than kind of riding the wave that everybody else loves to ride when it's all this scaremongering and hype and oh my God, Instagram is dead and oh my God, it's over for us and this is going to really put the nail in the coffin of my business. No, it's not. It is not going to spell the end of your business. It is just another opportunity and another way for you to build really intimate relationships with your followers. And video can be fun, and it can actually be easier and faster in many ways than sitting down to create really jazzy graphics or write really long captions. So think about it in this way, rather than listening to all the doom and gloom merchants that will tell you that Instagram is dead and this is all over for us. No, it's not. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video when it drops to this channel every single Friday, 5 p.m. GMT. And just before you go, don't forget to check out these 2 lovely videos here. This one, you can steal my Instagram strategy that I have been using this year and I will continue using into next year. And it really is in line with this new direction that Instagram is going in. And this video here, which is how to get more views on your Instagram Reels. I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Thank you for watching. Bye.